For any that see this later, we're testing out the live streaming capabilities on our YouTube channel. And I'm working. It's late here, so I'm going to put you guys over here. See if anybody comes to hang out. And then I'm going to keep working. Hello, Disc Golf Talk with Justin Sane. Am I saying your last name correctly? Also, can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. I've never done this live thing before. Thank you, Justin. It might be just you and me here tonight. I'm working on another video. Thought I'd test out this YouTube live crap that all the kids are into these days. It feels awkward if we're just chatting. I feel like we should just be texting if it's just you and me, or like on a Skype call, just the two of us. It seems like a really elaborate way to have a conversation with just you, Justin. Not that you're not worth it. I actually don't know if you're worth it or not. I assume you're worth it. There's a chance you could be a total scumbag. Right. It is interesting, though, being on this side of a live YouTube broadcast. I didn't think I needed any more reasons to appreciate Johnny V, Terry Miller, the people that do this often, but the level of production that they're able to achieve, Dynamic Discs, another good example, pretty impressive. What time is it? What time is it where you're at? It's pushing 11 here in Kansas. Can I edit the description? Whoa. Sorry, I'm just messing with some of the features on this side. How's your sponsorship agreement with the M&M company coming along? Coming along? You think I would talk about that trashy candy so much if they weren't paying me $500,000 a year. I hate peanut M&Ms. It's the only reason that I talk about them is my existing relationship. Um, just kidding. Couple questions. What's your favorite thing to do when waiting to throw? If I'm with Dave, I usually say, "Hey, Dave." Um, if I'm not, I'm usually thinking about my throw. I'm actually not like I am here or in my videos on the course. Welfare Trash asks, "Are you GA?" I think what he's trying to say is me, the original G, is like the Fonz from Happy Days, kind of an A. So I think he's saying you're really cool and I like you. Wow, interesting. I might be blocking some people soon. Yeah. Goodbye to you. And goodbye to you. Wow, yeah, seriously, my first official YouTube live troll. I think that means we have arrived. I had a hard time blocking those two guys because they were about 30% of our viewership, and that's a pretty big chunk to kick out the door, you know what I'm saying? Thanks, Great Light Studios. I don't like it, if we're being honest. I know the grass is always greener, the beard's always thicker on the other side, but, uh, those of us with the genetic disability to grow a beard, think that life would be good with one. Those of us who can't avoid growing a beard think that life would be better without one. It's just discontentment. Man, do all YouTube live chats get this trippy in the comments? Agent Jeffy, what's that mean? Jake, how does one grow a fuller beard? Step 1, be lazy. Step 2, see step 1. Yes. Britt, nobody else will see that comment but me, but you're right. Agent Jeffy, what's going on, man? I'm putting you in timeout. You got you got 300 seconds to think about the decisions you're making in life. I figured that out, Justin, because I was doing that a lot, and I discovered there's a direct relationship between how many trees I hit and how many times I play disc golf. So if you don't play disc golf, presumably that number will go way down. Why are trees? You're gonna have to ask Nate Sexton about that one. Whoa, President Trump is here. Throw a flying squirrel. I have a lot of favorite comedians, John. Um, let's see. Right now, I had been watching a lot of Key and Peele for the last couple months. I've always been a big fan of Studio C. I don't know if you're aware of those guys. Um, they do pretty good stuff. I like a lot of the old comedians. Thank you, Trump. Key and Peele is, yeah, I mean, they're not for everybody for sure. Probably Brit. Are you talking about Studio C? Because Peel and Key. Yeah, that's true. No, no, no. It's Key and Peel. Let's be honest. Keegan Michael Key is the reason that they are what they are. What's up, Jake Laputka? Uh, man, how does Johnny V keep up with all these comments? Justin, I thought it was just going to be you and me. All these other all these other cats. Mike Hager says, "What's up?" And he's got an Innova logo as his profile picture. So he's probably like either the owner or the president of Innova. So thanks for joining. Jake, you stumbled on this chat in more ways than one. This may have been the worst decision of your day so far. I guess we're going to find out. Ah, Mike, is your real name Michael? If that's too personal, you don't need to disclose that on the internet. I don't feel like I see many young guys named Mike. That seems like a 30, 40-year-old guy's name. Young guys are Michael. Thanks, Jimbo. Yeah, I just moved. I've got a backdrop here with green paper and white paper options, and then just a bunch of can lights that I set up for different things. And then you guys can't see my computer set up, but it is cool to have. I definitely have never had this much space to create stuff in, so that's been pretty fun. Mikey, there you go. That's a 13-year-old Michael. That's how we refer to those guys, Mikey. Um, no, I've had an interesting relationship with Jomez so far. I'd love to do more. They've got a pretty particular vision for their brand, and my stuff is, I mean, it's out there for sure. So there've been a lot there've been a lot fewer opportunities extended to me than requests from me to them, if that makes any sense. You know, I thought about doing that. I'm assuming is it Yane or Jan? I'm gonna go with Yane. Sounds classier. Hope it's not Jan. I put a poll on the channel about a month ago, a couple months ago, saying, uh, should we do this on other stuff? Because disc golf is fun, but there's so much content out there. There's a new funny cat video or somebody slipping and falling video every day, just like Aussie Man. So should I be is it too limiting to just do disc golf, or should I be doing everything? And ask the subscribers. Basically, I wouldn't mind doing other stuff. It would be just as fun for me as disc golf stuff, but I wouldn't wanna alienate the disc golf crowd. Um, if I started doing other stuff and the disc golfers who subscribed because it was disc golf comedy were like, "Why is it all of a sudden figure skating or other stuff?" That would be sad to me, so I've been kinda careful to branch out. Cowboy, I love that. Those remind me of jokes. I had a pamphlet of 100 one-liners when I was, like, 13, and a couple of those were in there. Lamar Mon collab. Oh, cool, John. Thank you. I don't know if there's a Lamar Mon collab in my future. We have different styles for sure. Do I play tournaments? Mikey, I'm gonna start, in 2020. I got a PDGA membership this year. I played for maybe, like, 9 years, and I'm an advanced player at best, but have only done a couple, tournaments before. But I just moved to Wichita, so I'm gonna start getting involved with the leagues in the spring, and I'm hoping to play 3 or 4 tournaments next year. Justin, let's do it. Hit me up. Yes, John, it is, and I've thought about that too, but the disc golf community is so I mean, like, it's big and it's growing all day, every day, but in some regards, it is still so small that I do not want to be that guy, and I don't it would be pretty I mean, Jomez is the biggest name in the sport in terms of media, and so I'm definitely not going to, you know, set my brand or whatever you wanna call this disc golf comedy thing against them, so on a semi-related note, everything that I've ever done with Ian at CCDG is, has been super fun, and just he has trusted me with his brand. I mean, a lot of my videos on his channel have gotten absolutely terrible comments, and he's he's just like, "I think it's funny. Keep doing it," you know? And any idea that I've ever called him about, he's like, "Oh my gosh, yes, let's do it." So, yeah, no, I love Jomez. I watch every single video they put out. I would love to do more, comedy stuff with them, but I think we're both I more them, obviously, because 'cause I'm like a yes 100% of the time. I think from their angle, it's been they're kinda like, let's be careful with that." And as a branding guy, I don't fault them for that. They need to be careful with their brand. They work really hard, and they have worked really hard to get it to where it is. Scared to make someone angry? That's not comedy, bro. Well, that is a certain style of comedy, Dalton. There's so many different styles. Lamar Mon, a little callback to that comment a little bit ago. There's a lot of different styles of comedy, and that one's not mine. Try my best to like, comment, and subscribe no matter what, if it's disc golf related. There are a lot of people like that, and that's one of the reasons I think we're growing so fast. I've never heard anything from KJ. I I've heard one negative thing from a pro third party. So a guy that I was talking to at DGA said that he was talking to Patrick Brown about the commentary I did like 6 7 months ago or something, and I mean I was calling him Pottery Barn and peanut butter and jelly and just anything I could think of for the PBs. So the story I heard was that somebody showed it to Patrick, and he watched it for a couple minutes and was like, "I j I just I don't get it. I don't think it's funny." And that's it. So, closest thing to negative feedback from the pros. I think it'd be cool to have any kind of feedback from the pros, negative or otherwise. Mikey, I think you and me. I've heard that you and me are going to start playing some advanced. We're going to start winning some MA1s in 2020. So I'll probably be competing with you in the amateur worlds 2020. Better better stretch a lot. Same here, Jake. A good buddy of mine, Luke Humphreys, won that last year, and I think I'm getting to hang out with him in a week to play some disc here in Wichita. So I'm excited about that. Mikey, if you're ever in the Kansas area, hit me up. Mm, yes, that is a little bit of a drive. And as you can imagine, I'm not often in the Wisconsin area. It's not like I just ended up there. My collab with Matt Bell. Well, I got his phone number and I texted him and said, "Hey, I was hoping to call you in on a commentary I'm working on with CCDG, and here's my idea. What do you think?" He texted back, "LOL, let's do it." And I called him and he was like so laid back. And more than that, he was really funny. I don't think that comes across in the videos. Of course, you never get to see pros, just chatting it up in the videos because they're playing. But we talked for I mean, we talked for a few minutes. We recorded the thing for the video, and then we stayed on for 20 minutes or so and just chatted it up, and he was just incredibly laid back and really funny. So, I really appreciated him, like, letting me kinda tease him for such a sensitive what could have been a really sensitive part of the round, because that shot was, like, crazy, and he thought it was hilarious. So yeah, that was fun. Definitely a highlight moment for me. Anytime I get to, you know, do any work with a pro like the Sexton shootout video, or getting to do something with the Dynamic Discs guys or calling Matt Bell, just pretty cool, to see where this has gone in any year. Mikey, um, perfect. Well, there you go. That's just about an hour away from me. Mikey, if you come to Emporia, I will drive up. I'll meet you there. We'll play someplace in Emporia. Funny story though, I met a fan, my first fan interaction. There have been one so far. So this is the first and only fan interaction that I've had in real life. And maybe because it went like it did. So some guys were in Emporia for Junior Worlds and they messaged me and said, "Hey, you're in that area, right? Can we get in around?" And I said, "Absolutely." I said, "I'm going to be in Emporia on this day. Let's play." So I drove up there. I get out, I shake their hands. "Hey, I'm Tyler." And he said, "Oh, you don't talk with the Australian accent like all the time?" And I said, "No, sorry, that's just for the videos. No." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So then like 2 or 3 holes later, this poor kid, he says, "So, how long have you lived here?" And I said, "My whole life. I mean, I was born in Wichita." And he said, "So, you're not from Australia?" I just lost it. I said, "Oh, dude, I am so sorry. Like that, like I can leave now if you need me to. If this isn't like what you were thinking, uh, this is it's all a lie. Anything on the internet's a lie. I'm no exception." Remember that was one of the favorite pros. Yes, absolutely, Jake. Oh, yes. Yeah, John, I wish I could make it public, but one of my very favorite videos is from Big Germ a few months ago when I was messaging him on Facebook, and then I just sent him a minute-long video because I didn't wanna type it all out, and he responded back with so many cuss words and said, "You're not Australian?" Because was just normal in my video. That made me laugh a lot. Mikey, here you go. You can message me, DM me on Instagram, PM me on Facebook, or email me right there. There was not, John. Sorry to disappoint. Garrett, that's a great question, and I will take that in 2 parts. Part 1, would be the obvious choice for my brand. I would choose Paul Macbeth because he is the biggest name in our sport, and I think that video would get a lot of views. Part 2 is just in terms of who I think I would have the most fun riffing with, would probably be, Nate Sexton. Think if there's anybody else. I mean, any of them would be just super fun. But no, yeah, I think Nate Sexton's on the top of the list. I feel like he is one of the funniest, and he doesn't get that, he doesn't have that rap, you know? I think Big Germ is funny, don't get me wrong, but when I hear them going back and forth, I think Nate has a really sophisticated sense of humor. I think he's really witty, and I appreciate that. So, yeah, I think that would be fun. Ian has promised me the opportunity to, uh, call, Champs versus Chumps with Nate if I can get to one, and I almost drove up 8 hours to, Illinois. What was happening up was that Worlds? Can't remember. That's awkward. I probably should know that. But he didn't end up shooting, Champs versus Chumps there, but I would have made that happen. There are talks in the works about, um, me getting to a couple NTs in 2020, which Ian and Nate will both be at, and Champs versus Chumps will be being filmed. So, that's definitely a bucket list item for me. That would just be a blast. That would be so fun. I shot that I don't know if any of you watched that, Sexton shootout video that I made with him, but again, just kinda back to the Ian idea, I messaged Nate, who's never heard of me before, "Hey, can I come up? Do you have 10 minutes before or after the Sexton shootout, and we can make a funny video?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." I sent him the script, and he said, "This is funny. This is gonna be super fun." Funny story about that. I was there, he showed up. I said, "Hi, I'm Tyler." And he just looked at me and said, "Hi, Tyler." I said, "Can I carry that?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, thanks." And I thought the first interaction was kind of weird. I couldn't really put my finger on why. And I was with him for about half an hour. I was helping him set up. I was behind his table. I was standing right there with him. And I feel like also we had talked about some video stuff, but maybe not. Anyway, we're standing shoulder to shoulder behind his table. He pulls out his phone and he messages me on Facebook and said, "Hey man, I'm at the course now. Come find me when you get here." So my phone goes off and I turned to him. I said, "Hey, I'm the guy. I'm the I'm the Australian guy." He says, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know if that was you or not." He's like, "You don't have an accent." Back to the accent thing. Like, yeah, I figured that might be you because like, you're here and you were helping me with stuff, but anyway, that was all off topic, but all of that to say, when I got to work with him, we recorded that video in 2 takes because Nate just gets it, he was just funny, saw where I was going with that, um, and he was super chill about it. Feel like I've talked about Nate Sexton for a long time. Maybe I should stop. This is awkward. Anyway, what's your guys' favorite thing about Nate Sexton? BSF bucket list if you don't have it in the works already. Is that Beaver State Fling? Beaver State Fling bucket list? Yeah, yeah, for sure. There's so many amazing places. Garrett. When I if I get to hang out with Nate Sexton, I'll ask him that. I did get to play De La a couple months ago, and I got to go up to DGA. I got to meet all the team up there and uh, tour their headquarters and just see all this disc golf history stuff. It was just absolutely mind blowing, super cool. And I got to play De La twice. We played uh, less than the full course the first time, and then we played the full like 27 holes or whatever it is the second time. And for a guy from Kansas, you know, there's no elevation here, obviously. 27 holes at De La felt like 3 rounds, in a row here in Kansas. Um, but that was an absolute bucket list item for me. And it's just cool. I mean, it's because of people like you. I don't wanna get sappy, but I mean, it's like I just made a couple stupid videos a year ago, and people have just jumped in and supported it, and now disc golf is my full-time job, and I get to go play De La, and I'll probably get to hang out with Nate Sexton at Champs versus Chumps, just like all these super cool things, and it's because disc golfers are awesome, and, uh and they support each other. Like somebody said in the comments a little while back, when you see a new disc golf thing, everybody's like, you know, ready to be excited about it. No, John, I wish. Uh, there are a handful of people who have been super generous on Patreon, but I don't. It would take a lot. I mean, for Patreon to be your full time gig. Um, Sorry, I'm getting caught up on the comments here. Yes, Mikey, agree 100%. Um, so I work for and I haven't, like, changed my employment stuff on Facebook or made any kind of posts about it because 'cause it's been kind of ongoing. My full-time job was making content for a few companies in the Wichita area for the last few years, and so DGA reached out to me, like 8 months ago, maybe. And we started talking about me doing a little bit of content for them. And that has just like that relationship has just grown and grown until now I'm working 4 days a week for DGA. It was two, then three, then four. Hey, speaking of one of the DGA guys, my favorite coworker, unless any of the other ones join the chat. Um, so I had this fifth day a week. I was still working for the guys in the Wichita area. And then I started having some conversations with UDisc after the True Disc video um, a couple months ago. And they said, "Do you have like 1 day a week that you could do content for us?" And I said, "I happen to have 1 day a week." And so for the last 2 months, I've done 4 days DGA and 1 day UDisc. Um, which, yeah, talk about a trip. I mean, that's that's just absolutely insane. Disc golf is I've been super nerdy about disc golf for 8 or 9 years, but just in a year. Yeah, totally, and that's exactly it, Mikey. I mean, it's the dream. We play it, we're always trying to, like, get off work so we can go play disc golf, and now disc golf is my job, and it's not, Caesar, am I right? It's a job, there's a lot of elements to it that aren't any different than what I was doing, all the camera stuff and you're charging batteries and you're packing up gear and you're going to shoots and you're dumping footage and you're editing, a lot of the stuff is the same, but it's all in the context of this game that I really love. So it's pretty cool. Find something that you love and figure out how to make money at it, right? You've all heard that about trying to choose a career path. Not all of us are so lucky, but I am, and it's because of you idiots. There you go. Yep. Yeah, so I got to play with Caesar. Yeah. Caesar uh whooped my butt a couple times at Daylaw. And he gets to play it like anytime he wants. So there's that, but also at the same time I think Caesar's quite a bit better than me. So there's also that. You put those two things together and it is what it is. Wow. Guys, we've been on here for 40 minutes. I honestly was planning on hanging out with a couple of you and editing a video during this time, but we've all just been chatting away. Took it easy on. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know I'm actually a lefty. Uh I didn't want to not the first time out. You can't do that to your new coworkers. What's up, Adrian? Thanks for saying hey. Tell us about your pick. I was going to say, John, what picks of me have you seen? I think I will, Mikey. This is fun. I actually want to use OBS and a Blackmagic video converter I have to try and get my DSLR instead of this webcam, to get my DSLR set up maybe here looking back at the computer and broadcast that way so that the video would actually be high quality. John, I have a custom build PC. I was always a big Mac guy. I did a lot of music recording. Maybe you can kind of see the keyboard here in Logic Pro and could never get into Pro Tools. So, Mac was always the way to go. Um, but when you start doing some cost comparisons between what you can build in a PC to what you compared to what you can buy on a Mac, I mean, it's like I think I have $2,200 in this PC build, and frankly, that was a lot. Um, you could do it for less. You could do it for less than that. But this PC is running at about the same power as like a $4,500 Mac Pro. So I've been PC for about 8 months, 9 months, and it's a really good decision, especially now that I'm on my own. I had employers before who were kind of paying for my equipment, and if you're a freelance, or a self-employed content creator, I th- and this actually means something because I really was like PCs suck, Apple's. I was that guy, a couple years ago. But actually, having been in it for almost a year, I'm saying this is the way to go for the money and for what you can do. I haven't had any trouble. I was running a Hackintosh for a while. So I had a PC parts and I was running the Apple operating system on it, but that was just incredibly glitchy and hard to maintain. So yeah, PC. Apple sucks. PC is the only way to go. Yeah, I'm a PC fanboy. Peace out, Caesar. Bringing in, yeah, I'll bring in the donuts tomorrow. I'll have them shipped. I'll mail them to you tomorrow morning. They'll be stale by the time they get there, I think. Thoughts on the FPO winnings being much lower than the MPP? Mikey, I have thoughts on that. I think my main thought is what's the MPP? I actually would submit that the FPO winnings are much higher than the MPP. Now, they are much lower than the MPO, and I think that that is man, I have 2 conflicting opinions about it. I think it is what it is, and I also think it's sad. I don't have a great solution, but I think it is it's a sad situation. It's like the American prison system, but we can talk about that in a future live broadcast, except I kinda hope that we don't have to. Well, should we call it a night, fellas? Quit while we're ahead. I've got the John Brown TV guy gonna Skype me here in a minute. Um, hang on. This is a Panasonic GH5. It's one of the best things that I have ever used. Uh, Ironic. There's the John Brown TV guy. So I was a big Canon fan. Talk about switching fan clubs. Loved Canon, but was reading a ton of reviews when it came time to buy something. And Canon is just incredibly expensive. Panasonic is not. So I bought a Panasonic GH4. It was like half the price. And it recorded 4K at the time, which was a big deal. And the Canon 5D Mark III did not. Um, so I've stayed Panasonic. So this is a GH5. This is the upgrade, and I just let it, it's like it's feature driven. It's feature packed for sure, but it still comes at a really reasonable price tag because it's not like that popular of a camera. So here's what I have done. I'm still using Canon lenses or the Canon EF mount lens with a speed booster. This is a micro four thirds, which is what the Panasonic camera is, to Canon EF mount adapter. So it brings it up to that size so that you can use all your Canon lenses on a Panasonic camera. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So if you've got Canon lenses, it's a really great option. Side note for any of you that care, this microphone is the most amazing thing I've ever used. It's the Sennheiser MKE 600. It's only I think it's a few $100. But like you go like watch the if you care, go to my YouTube channel, watch the underwear or under there or whatever. There was 20 miles an hour of wind blowing into this mic steadily that whole time. And and you'll see in the video, it just sounds like there's a little bit of wind in the background. It's absolutely amazing if you need to record audio outside. Um, Fresh Matty B, I'm not going to accept either one of those options. There's a third option. Um, I have the opportunity to only work with 2 disc golf companies, and that's what I've chosen to do. Sorry, guys. Let me. Oh, hey. I think my next 2 hours got freed up. Guys, what are we going to do? Peace. See you, Jake. And 10-bit. Yes, John. Exactly. Although I don't have cards that are fast enough to support 10-bit recording. Premiere. Premiere for sure because I do a lot in After Effects, which is ironically what me and John Brown TV are hanging out about. He wants to learn how to be like Follow Flight Mike, which I have spent a considerable amount of hours trying to chase down follow flight Mike's skills and am getting there. I'm going to start doing all of the coastlines that you see on CCDG. So I do a lot in After Effects, do a lot in Premiere and Photoshop and Illustrator, and they all just play so well together. I actually used to be Final Cut Pro when I was on a Mac, but made the switch because I did so much in the other Adobe products and knew it would be best long term to work in Premiere. So kind of made the decision to take 3 steps backwards in an effort to gain 4 steps eventually. Night Round at Daylaw, that sounds so hard. Is this awkward that I'm messaging while I'm on YouTube Live? Do I have like a social responsibility to entertain you guys? Dance monkey. Can't do that, John. Uh, although that would be entertaining. You guys would laugh a lot. I uh I can't dance. I know you guys are going to be surprised by this. I need to be honest with you guys. If you read all the messages. No, I can do that. John Brown, I said we can Skype tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm live on YouTube. I can jump off whenever. And he said, "Nice. What you playing?" Not playing anything. Oh, podcast found it. Are you on here, John Brown TV? Podcast? John Brown TV, if you're on here. That's his name. You'd assume. You'd assume that's his name. I didn't know if maybe he was the guy who founded that college in Arkansas. I'm broadcasting on YouTube. Come join the chat. So that this isn't so awkward. All right, guys. What time is it where you all are at? I guess it's not a crazy time to be awake. It feels late for me. I've actually been sick the last 2 days. So, I feel kind of drained. Same here, Mikey. So like all y'all are here and I'm like, "Wow, this is crazy. You guys are up so late." But let's be honest, do any of us go to bed before midnight these days anyway? Well, do we? Nope, we don't. Although to be fair to the people that are asleep right now, they can't answer that question. So, hey, John Brown TV, but no sound. Gonna hop on my phone. John Brown is having some struggles, guys. Let's all send positive thoughts to John Brown's audio system. Is that I thought the suspect was OOP, Tanner. Is that not true? John Reed, aside from making DG content, what would you recommend if I wanted to get the attention of disc golf companies and get work like you do? Um, People are so nice and approachable, John. That's John Brown. Um, John Reed, I've always had a like work and then in my spare time some sort of creative outlet. Just some way to get whether it's recording music or painting or making funny videos. There's always been kind of an extra way for me to kind of express myself. And that's what this was a year ago. It was 11:30 at night and I saw the CCDG video with no commentary and I told my wife I like I'm not dressed, right? It's 11:30, I'm in bed, so I'm putting on my clothes and the lights are on. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I I gotta go do a thing." And then I did a thing. And now a year later, it's my job. So that's not a very specific not a very specific answer, but I will tell you almost everybody that I've reached out to, with the exception of like one and a half companies that I've messaged and said, "Hey, would you be interested in me doing this?" Or I had an idea for this collab, or if I used your guys' name in a video doing this, would you be okay with it? All of them so far have been like, absolutely. So I guess maybe that's kind of it. I'm offering them value, you know, and so far most of them have seen value in it. Whether that's actually true or not, who knows? But perceived value, is something anyway. Just woke up for work. Ooh, chance. I know a couple third shift guys, and I salute you, sir. You are keeping America running, presumably. I don't You might be an assassin also. You might be single-handedly destroying America. Statistically speaking, I'm going to assume that you are some sort of industrial worker. And if that's the case, then I salute you. The other way, no salutes for assassins. Yeah, usually John Reed. Tyler, you should throw some AGL discs. Justin, I hate to do this to you on live YouTube, on a live YouTube video, but I have no idea what AGL discs are. Sorry. Ace Run, what up? Yeah, I was gonna edit this evening, and I thought I'd try out this YouTube live thing because I've been kind of wanting to see if we could. Because I feel like Smashbox, they have a really loyal following. Didi, they have a really loyal following. But the people that are subscribed to Disc Golf Comedy, you guys are all the funny people, right? And I know there's crossover, but none of the unfunny people are going to subscribe to my channel. A lot of boring people are going to subscribe to Smashbox and Dynamic Discs, but you guys are all the funny ones. So my thought is, why wouldn't I want to hang out with all the funny people, funny disc golfers on the internet? I could not think of a single good answer, and so I jumped on here, and it has been absolutely terrible. Terrific. It has been absolutely terrific. John Brown TV, I am going to assume that that means your speakers are up and running. Good job, JBTV. Ace Run, it's good. I enjoy going back and forth with you in our chats. You know what? You know what? Hang on, hang on, hang on. As my first official YouTube Live moderator decision, did it work? Did it work? Can you comment something? We did it. Ace Run, there is only there's only one thing in my YouTube chat life that has felt better than getting a blue wrench on the DGPT, and that was giving you the blue wrench on this channel, which just goes to show it is better to give blue wrenches than receive, kids. So stay in school. Oh man. I wish you were here right at the beginning, Ace Run, because I don't know what, maybe like spammers get notified whenever there's a new uh live video happening. But in the first like 1 or 2 minutes that we went live, there was two guys that didn't seem like they were connected to disc golf at all that just came in and just started blowing it up with some crazy crap. So I kicked them. So maybe you'll be around for the next one. John Brown TV, now that you're in here, we don't have to message on Instagram. Hmm. Should we are we going to do this thing tonight or tomorrow morning? And out of context, I get that that sounds weird, guys. I get it. Okay? I get it. We're all adults besides Mikey. It's the internet. It's late. Tomorrow morning. Awesome. You're West Coast, so I'm going to be in this very spot for like 3 hours from, so it's going to be like 7 to 10 your time. So maybe like 9 your time. Ugh, gross. Why? Oh, you have kids. That makes sense. Mikey, I still get it. Just because I can't drive doesn't mean I can't get jokes. Gosh. John Brown TV. Yeah, totally Ace Run. I've got 4 of those little rats myself, and they're all asleep right now. But who's to say that they will be 3 hours from now? Hmm? No one. And if they did, they'd be lying. It was one of their 3rd birthdays today. So that was cute. Makes the other 364 days worth it. John, I'm going to say the official answer to that is a job. But the stuff I get from DGA at this point, since I work for them, doesn't really count. But the Mach 7 basket that I got before I started working from them, that was so fun. That was so cool. I don't know if you guys saw the message that he sent along with that was like really encouraging because it takes just a little bit of work to make those videos. Um, so that was really cool. This grip collab that I just did a few weeks ago, that was super fun. The lady that I've been talking to at Grip, Christine Fetterman, is super, super funny, super laid back. We had a really good time on the phone planning out that video. And it turns out they're based here in Kansas, about an hour and a half north of me. So we've also talked about doing some future stuff. How do you get young children to bed on time? What? Why would you even ask that? There's no on time. You can't schedule anything with kids, especially not 4 kids in 5-year gap. The question is just how do you get young children to bed? Just at all. If you can get them to bed and get them to have any sleep, then you've won that day. I got one who is kicking and talking, but that's a nightly happenings, no crying, so we good. I'm gonna assume you're talking about your kids, not like a coworker or something. I'm on night shift till 7 AM. You better have this running the whole time. I can sleep. So funny story. So I was sick, right? A couple days ago. I had a fever really bad, and we were getting our house painted that same day. So I work from home, but I was just totally gone. I'm totally out of it. So I would have been convalescing in my bed, right? But they're painting the bedrooms that day. So I would have come down here. There's a guest bedroom down in the basement right outside my office, but they're, remember, painting the bedrooms that day. So I brought they're still here. I brought blankets and pillows into my office and just laid down here and like slept for a few hours. So, um, Tanner, or who said they're going to be up all night? Yeah. Wait, where'd I go? I could, Travis. I could. I'll just leave the live going and I'll just sleep right here. Tilt the camera down a little bit. Did I go to college? I did. It was the worst 2.5 months of my life, and I got out of there. Yes, John Reed, the one in my backyard. Yep. It's actually at a local retailer's right now. They took it to a collegiate event so that we could get some video. Some college disc golfers practicing on it. John Brown TV, careful how you say that. I forgot what I said. Perfect. So has DG brought you in as part of the media team? Yes and no, Ace Run. DGA has brought me in as the media team. Where's that? I'm not gonna drop that to the ground. Um, no, I touched on that just a little bit earlier, but I'm doing 4 days a week for DGA, and I was thanking the viewers, the thanking awesome disc golfers who support my silly videos because that has led to me being full time in disc golf. 4 days for DGA and 1 day for UDisc as of right now. So that's just crazy cool. And can't thank you guys enough for jumping on at midnight or, you know, subscribing and liking the videos and stuff. It's pretty crazy, pretty awesome. Gonna make me cry. The Rift. Seriously. So here's the thing. When I started playing disc golf like 9 years ago ish, there was nothing in my town at the time, El Dorado, kind of a suburb of Wichita, no disc golf presence. So I became a DGA wholesaler, and I bought like $100. I bought like 10 or 20 DGA discs. Um, so that's my memory of DGA plastic from like 10 years ago. And I remember thinking some of it was good, but then I started playing with disc golf and I fell into Innova and Discraft stuff a lot. And then in the last 3 or 4 years, I was actually a dynamic discs retailer. Um, well, not 3 or 4 years. Sorry, I only did that for like a year and a half over in El Dorado, and then it was great. But just time wise, I couldn't keep doing everything I was doing, making content for the companies and run that little side hustle. So I stopped selling discs. Um, so when I started working for DGA, they said I had about 100% dynamic discs bag. So DGA sent me a bunch of plastic, and I honestly, in the back of my mind, was kind of worried. I'm like, man, I don't, I was just starting out when I started throwing them 10 years ago, but I don't remember like loving the stuff. And I'm so used to dynamic now. Am I going to go back? Am I going to lose 5 or 6 strokes on every round until I figure out these new discs? And there was like no transition for me. Like I found a disc to replace every slot in my bag almost immediately, with the exception of the mid range. the Squall and the Aftershock were the main 2, discs, mid-ranges that they had in the middle, and then they've got the Quake and the Tremor on either side of that, but I did not like either the Squall or the Aftershock, but, like, a couple weeks after I came on board, I told that to the general manager. I was like, "I don't like how this one flies, and I don't like how this one feels in my hand." And he said, "Well, good thing for you, we've got a new mid-range coming out," and it was the Rift. So, I said this in the grip video, but it wasn't a joke. Everything else in that video was a joke. But it's like the coolest disc that I've ever had. If you can imagine a buzz that just wants to stay in the air for like an extra 2 or 3 seconds, or it just like a buzz that you throw 80% and it just goes 40, 50 feet farther. Uh, the glide on it is just unreal. I should do it in the bag. I thought I had. Oh, I don't have one done here. So yeah, Roar Enru, DGA Rift. The other two that stuck out to me immediately were the Pipeline. I think somebody just said that one. The Pipeline is like a long escape. So the same idea as the Rift and the Buzz. The Pipeline is a fairway that you throw with 80% and it just goes. I mean, the first I don't have a crazy big arm, but the first day that I took the Pipeline out, I was throwing it over 400 feet because I mean, it just go and dead straight too. So I could have a whole bag of pipelines because I mean, it probably would be Tanner if you had it for long enough, but right off the shelf, right out of the gate, it's throw it 100% and it'll just drift right. Probably after 4 or 5 months of consistent use, it would be you'd have to release it on a hyzer to get that same sort of flight. Somebody said DGA hat and shirt. Do you get that stuff for free? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I work for them. I pay for it with my time and efforts. Doing in the I'm trying to get sponsored, hopefully by MVP. I did love I had an MV, or is it MVP or Axiom that makes the tele is it a teleport? Is that what it's called? How many tips when it comes to creating content? Um, Travis, I was telling somebody earlier, it's disc golf is pretty welcoming right now. If you're offering value to somebody, then they're going to be excited about what you're doing. Yeah, the MVP. See you, Mikey. Yep, sounds good, man. I'll be doing this more. We'll hang out on YouTube Live again sometime soon. The MVP teleport was a pretty awesome disc, and I love the idea of the overmold. I am all about the Adobe Creative Cloud. I do all my work all day every day is in Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere, and After Effects. And they all just play really, really nicely together. So Adobe 100p. You can do some good stuff on your phone. Well, and actually that goes back to the Adobe Creative Cloud, Travis. Uh, Adobe Rush on your phone is the mobile version of Premiere. So you can start a project in the field on Rush, and then open it up on your computer and finish the edit in Premiere. So it's pretty powerful to be able to go back and forth like that. Yes, John, thank you. No, I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding at all. I have I've wondered that same thing. And honestly, I've been kind of hard on myself sometimes because of that, because I've been tempted to think that that's real feedback. Like those are the real disc golfers, and if my stuff doesn't go well there, then maybe maybe it's not good. Um, so I don't know. Reddit's tough. I mean the what am I trying to say? The interface, not the algorithm, but just the format of it, where the posts that are getting upvoted stay at the top, and unless you get a handful of upvotes right out of the gate, you might never get seen. So Facebook and Instagram make that a little easier to where, I can have a Facebook or Instagram video get some attention over the first day, and then that will organically keep it in front of people for weeks. But Reddit, you've got like a matter of hours because of how much stuff is getting posted there. So it's a competitive space for sure. Um, but yeah, I've wondered about how to make that work better. How you found the cost of Adobe worth it if that's all you would use it for? Uh, Travis, are you saying that's why? Have I found the cost of Adobe worth it? If it, I would find the cost of Adobe worth it if I only used one of the apps, and I'm saying that authentically. But the fact that I use four, I mean, if you use two, if you just were a Photoshop Illustrator guy, totally worth it. I think with their cloud pricing, you can actually pay for just a single app per month, and it's like $20 a month or something. Totally worth it for how powerful the programs are. Yes, they do, John. Reddit just bashes people to try and genuinely provide content. Yeah. I don't Reddit and I'm a real disc golfer. Yes. There you go, Tanner. Um, I don't know. Travis, honestly, I don't have the answer to that question. Frank DeVries. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Gentlemen, we're an hour 12. Disc golfer or golfer? Are we allowed to talk about ball golf? So we get a handful of unsubscribes if I talk about regular golf. Have a live stream, then post it on Reddit at the same time. Can you broadcast live to Reddit? Um, I was a golfer, a ball golfer, pretty actively before I discovered disc golf and got to the point where I was spending like a few $100s a month, just out of high school, back before wife and kids and financial responsibilities. But even then, I was like, this is not sustainable and frankly pretty dumb to be spending this much money on a game every month. And around that time, my who would soon become my brother-in-law introduced me to disc golf. And it kind of did this thing. It was like right at first, it was like, okay, it's not as fun as golf, but it's free. And then after about a year or so, it was like, I think they're both equally fun. And now I play regular golf maybe twice a year, and I feel the exact opposite about it than I did when I started, where I look at regular golf, I'm like, you know, it's not as fun as disc golf, but I still enjoy doing it every once in a while. So all that to say, my favorite regular golfer, spoiler alert, I'm not original at all. My favorite regular golfer to watch is Tiger Woods. My favorite disc golfer to watch is Paul Macbeth. I am one of those guys who absolutely just like loves the idea of a superhero. That's why do we go to the Marvel movies, right? I love the idea of somebody just being like so good, like unhumanly good at something. And I don't need or want to be that guy at all in anything. I just want to watch him because it's like so fun to see somebody excel, in any area. And yeah, I just paid $10 actually. Golf Digest just released a special like little series on Tiger they recorded. And the cinematography in the trailer kind of caught my attention as a videographer. I was like, that would be fun to watch. I like Tiger, be interesting to see, and it was $10. So I've been watching that. I'm through 4 episodes. It's a 12 episode series. So if any of you are into regular um, golf, go check that out. It's been totally, I mean, just the first 4 episodes have been worth $10 so far. Not live disc golf though. Wouldn't pay $10 for that, but too soon. Um, and yeah, I just love watching Macbeth. I mean, I just like it's nuts to watch him play sometimes. Bubba. And I love so yeah, I guess there's kind of two categories, right? Who would I like to watch play or who would I like to play around with? Like we talked about earlier, probably like Nate Sexton or Big Germ, or Ulibarri. Like there's a lot Matt Bell. There's a lot of guys who actually I think I get to play around with Matt Bell in a couple weeks. Fingers crossed. Just because, like it's different. I'm sure I would enjoy playing with Macbeth, but he's not the first person that comes to mind when I think of like, who do you think you would have the most fun with playing around a disc golf? Um, so maybe if I had the opportunity, Bubba, or Rory or somebody else would be more fun to play regular golf with than Tiger, but it's all hypothetical. None of those things, disc golf theories included, are ever going to happen. So, Jonathan, oh man, that callback is an honor to me, sir. I appreciate that. Let's see, did I miss anything up there? I think I just kind of went on a little bit of a deranged rant about golf and superheroes. Let me see what I missed. Tiger Woods is the villain. Okay. Pick a topic. Eagles broken hand, Ricky Lime treatment. Ooh, John, I can't do either one of oh, we could talk about Eagle, but it's been talked about. I can't do Ricky's Lime thing. As a comedian, that whole thing has been hard to watch go down. Macbeth Superman, does that make Eagle Lex Luthor? He's not bald enough. USDGC course is a gimmick. What do you got? You guys are all just like, it's late and you're like, oh, let's just throw in all the disc golf buzz topics. Let's see what sticks. P McBee is so fun to watch. Agreed. And yes, you found Paul Macbeth and helped him become famous. So I would think he's your famous. Absolutely. I mean, he's kind of my protege in a way. So I owe it to him to have him be at the top of my list. Ace Run, I never knew because it's hard to know somebody just from watching the coverage, but somebody did a mic'd up round with him where, he was just on the whole time. And I felt like that gave us a little glimpse into what an actually nice guy he is because, like, the whole time he's saying, "Thank you. Thank you." Yeah, and he's being, like, just a really good guy. You never know just from watching the coverage what they're actually like. Eric Oakley would be fun. I got to interact with him a little bit when I did the True Disc video, just from him sending me in. Wow, funny story about that. I'm messaging him, "Eric, I need these videos. I'm finishing this edit up by Friday. Can you send them to me today or tomorrow?" "Yeah, no problem." Tomorrow comes, "Hey, Eric, I'm so sorry to bother you. Can you send me these videos?" "Oh, yeah." And he sends me one. He's walking through a disc golf course. "Is this kind of what you're thinking?" He sends it to me. I'm like, "Hilarious. Can you try it like this?" I give him a little bit of directing and I ask him for it. He's like, "Yeah, no problem." So he sends me a second one, and Tina is in the chat too. It's the 3 of us in the chat, and she said, "Eric, aren't you playing worlds doubles right now?" And he said, "Yeah, why?" And I think that's hilarious, but also, like, how cool is that? That again, he's never met me, he doesn't know me, and he's sending me videos while he's playing a world's championship. Played with Eric at Delaware NT. It was not what I expected, dot, dot, dot. Okay. Are you doing the putting championship again this year? What does that mean, John? Have I done a putting championship? Thanks, Ranru. I wonder how I should be saying that. It just kind of sounds like I'm Scooby Doo or something, or I'm just kind of slurring. Simon's a blast. I would believe that. KJ. Yeah, Ace Run, I've only interacted with 4 or 5 of them and just little, Facebook messages here and there. But so far, I mean, it seems like they're all just they're super excited because what I'm asking from them is an opportunity to help get their name out there. So again, kind of back to that providing value idea. Like, would you help me help you sort of a situation? So I think that is a good start. But even if it was just one-sided, I think even if I was just, "Hey, would you give me this thing or would you do this thing for me?" I think most of them would probably still do it. Down to earth and solid people, totally. Played with Matt Bell, super chill, such a great golfer and card mate. Yeah, I've wondered about, um, the technical logistics of it is not too exciting to me, but I've wondered about calling in a pro, FPO or MPO to do some commentary with. Brad, you're gonna have to rewind, man. Don't though. I can sum it up. Tyler's fangirling over Nate Sexton, works full time at disc golf now, has a bunch of PC and camera stuff. Um, Pro disc golfers are cool. And whatever we're going to talk about for the next 3 hours, it's TBD. Uses Premiere. Oh, that's funny, John Brown. It's hiding that. It's flagged. It's flagged you for your shameless self promotion, John Brown TV. Kyle Crabtree. I've heard that name. Dion Arlen. I have not heard that name. Do I have? Well, it's more the opposite. Hang on. Um, is this maybe what you all expected when you tuned in? This is this is actually a very weird experience for me because I sit right here in this seat for like hours and hours, and I do this voice and I talk to this screen, but it's just alone. It's just me and the boards and the like nuclear compound concrete bunker walls, and it's very depressing. But having you guys here is like maybe 0.07% less depressing. So I appreciate that quite a lot. About 0.0% a lot, actually. So you can crunch the numbers. If you multiply those together, you get actually a pretty big amount of appreciation from me. Um, so yeah, that's what we have. I can play you the insanely loud keyboard. This keyboard, this thing is like the keys are like 3.5 inches tall. So I think that has something to do with it. Hmm. Haven't seen Are We There Yet? Thanks, Travis. I appreciate that. Brad, why is your username in a box with a check mark on it? How'd you swing that? Hmm. Can't tell you. Can't tell you. I'm not ready to show him to the world yet, John. Differentiate between my church friends and my non church friends. You don't have to, but I'm just saying it could get really awkward if you don't. JT, I don't know, man. I started this an hour and 20 minutes ago. I was going to come down here and edit a video. Thought I'd test out this YouTube live thing. Disc golfers are fun to hang out with. And here we are. Next time, there will be a next time. Okay, I want to come back to that, Brad. There will be a next time, but I'm going to do a little bit of technology work. There you go. I'm going to do a lot of smart, profound brain things in my head. And then we are going to have a better looking picture. Hey, Keith. Ace Run, you got to go to bed. Keith, dude, thank you for your support on Patreon. And you'll be happy to know that is my first ever YouTube super chat. Let's hear it for Keith, everyone. Please. I'm a pastor, went out a tournament and I get offered pot. Then the next hole they ask what I do. Oh man. That's a skit, Tanner. That's a skit right there. See you, JBTV. Nice. Maybe, JT. Maybe. Hey, Brad. Okay, wait. Brad, thank you. A, thank you. But B, what okay, back to that thing. You said not actually. I was verified in 2008 when Google bought YouTube. Wh- What does that mean? I mean, like, so basically, does that mean like you were grandfathered into a box around your username? Oh, Ace Run is about to donate $5,000 in the super chat. Let's let's just give him a clap or her. Don't mean to be sexist. Okay. Thank you, Ace. That is the current record for the largest super chat that I have ever gotten on YouTube. Brad, Keith and Brad, generous as they were, even put together, couldn't equal your generosity, sir. Um, all right, Ace Run, get some sleep. Yeah, yeah. Why have I been messing around with doing collab videos? Hey, you had to. Night Ace Run, thanks. He had to up. Did Ace Run? Did you type in 499? I thought YouTube maybe just took off a. I'll show that one, even though it's not my favorite word, but it's just an allusion to it. No, it defaults. So then, how did Travis get to do 5? Okay, listen. Oh, interesting on the iPhone. What was that? Yeah, I was saying, why am I working for a living, guys? This is this is my new job. I'm gonna come on here at 9 o'clock every night and just talk to people. If I could make 10, 12, 14, if I could make 14, and let's be realistic. Once we really get this thing going, I'm gonna be making $20 a night. That times what's 20 times 365? It's 7,300. Oh, come on. Oh, whoa, this is mirrored? So you guys really don't know what my face looks like. It's actually the opposite of this. Give you $12 a year to not have another job. Yeah, Kickstarter. Yeah, you're in the early bird special for sure. 17, about to play my first PDGA sanctioned event. In the series, there's been not a single junior, but money is set aside for junior division. Do I play junior or rec? Um, don't you have to have a certain number of people to even facilitate a division? Somebody else who's better with PDGA rules and regs help this kid out. I have actually not played. I think I've only played in a couple PDGA sanctioned tournaments in the last 9 years. I'm looking to do more of that in 2020 because I'm, like, sick good now. Like, you guys, you would not even believe how good I am. I don't even Most people don't believe how good I am because I lie about it, and they shouldn't. Dude, go get that W. What are you talking about? Interesting. That is a unique situation, Orion. Is it Orion, like the constellation, or is it Orion? Those are the only 2 options. If it's not one of those, sorry, I'm gonna call you one of those 2 things from now on. Alright, guys. Any questions for me? I got a hot date with John Brown TV tomorrow morning. We're gonna learn him some follow flight skills. If you got any questions, I'm gonna stick around for 1 more minute until 12:10, and then we're gonna do this again sometime this year, probably, if we're lucky. I hope so, John. Sakari, I don't have a good answer for you about that. So I'm gonna miss my it's 12:10. I just missed my deadline. I already took my pants off. Why would you take your pants off for this? Um, the comment so input output, right? This is a good focus group. I got 22 of you here. You're a pretty loyal group, obviously, because it's after midnight my time and you're still hanging out with me for some reason. So let me just be really candid. The commentary videos take so much time, and I enjoy doing them because I have a lot of fun while I'm recording them, but it's just time. It takes so long to make them. Um, and the response that they get is sometimes good and sometimes nothing. The last 6-ish that I've done. Um, as opposed to these shorter little skit videos that I've done, or like the grip bag review recently. Um, I probably had like less than 10 hours invested in that video, and I was really encouraged by the response that it got. The commentary video, like I think on Pro World's feature card, I think I had probably 20 to 30. Probably closer to 20. Let's just say 20 on the low end, hours in that project, front and back 9. And there's a handful of you guys that I actually see in this chat who are supporting me on Patreon, and that's amazing. But no matter what Patreon is or YouTube monetization, I think I've gotten like $60 in the last year for that. Um, that is not a good use of my time, monetarily speaking. You know, making making high quality videos, even in Kansas, you need to be thinking 75 to $100 an hour earning, so we talked about it a little bit earlier. It's a creative expression for me. It's a fun thing that I get to do, and it's been so fun to see people's responses. But I have been having a few kind of come to Jesus conversations with myself about the rest of this year and 2020. Should I kick commentary videos to the curb and only do the skit videos? Should I do a blend? Should I do commentary videos in an easier way? And I won't go into a ton of details on that, but there are a lot of ways that I could cut corners on that, like the Samui Swine video that I did with Ian. We recorded front and back nine just straight in a row. So that one is a very real depiction. I mean, the other ones are they're not scripted, but they're kind of bullet pointed, and I will record, some parts multiple times if I stumble over a word or spontaneously cuss or something. Um, and I, yeah, I know. So anyway, I don't know when the next commentary video is going to come out because I put a lot into this last one and it was kind of like, ugh, you know, it just didn't really go anywhere. So that's pretty hard uh, as a creator to then find the energy to dive into the next one. That Lord 3, I think that would probably be the situation. It would be like this, it would be super casual. It wouldn't be like technically funny, but hopefully it would still be entertaining to some, and it would be a heck of a lot less work. So that's kind of my thought. But then you get people like Sakari who ascribe to the other point of view, which is, yeah, and I can see it from that angle too. Put a lot of work into it, but just don't do as many. Do as many as you have energy for, which might be 3 a year. Do one a quarter or something. Yeah, and a lot of that, Brad, is most of it's just me being super blessed and just opportunities being handed to me in life. But some of the part of the reason why this is my full-time job now is because, yeah, a lot of those late nights where now my office is in my home, so I can just come down to my basement. But for before a couple months ago, my office was across town. So I'd put all the kids to bed and drive to the office at 9:30 or 10 and record for a few hours. Anyway, long answer, long answer to that. I was going to sign off 5 minutes ago. Then you asked me something that I was really excited about. I'm excited to go on Smashbox again, Brad. Uh, I had a lot of fun with JVD, but I would like to go hang out with him and Terry. I think that would be a blast. I also think that they would um, do that. I need to reach out to them. All right, guys, let's do this again soon. This has been super fun. Signing off.